Hello everybody and welcome back to another Kerbal Space Program video. And in today's video we are going to be visiting the biggest and maybe coolest Easter egg in all of KSP. I don't know, I haven't quite decided yet. There are some other cool ones. You know, either way, we're heading out there today. And since this is a Pilot 1549 video, there are obviously going to be all the gimmicks. All the gimmicks. Yes, we like gimmicks. So, we're not just going to be heading out to the Easter egg, we are also going to be bringing 2 race cars, which you'll see me add to the lander in a little bit as I kind of finalize the design. And why am I bringing race cars, you may ask? Well, it's to race! We are going to be racing up the side of this Easter egg. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be flying out to Tylo, where this Easter egg is located. Then I am going to be joining a multiplayer server, and my friend is going to be controlling the other car, and we're going to see who can race up the side of the Easter egg the quickest. So that'll be our nice little fun thing to do once we get there. But right now I'm just building up our Tylo lander. I put a little ore tank on there to be as like kind of a mass simulator for the race cars, because I didn't know really where I wanted to put them, and I still wanted to have the correct amount of weight or mass on the vehicle so I could get the correct amount of fuel. So these race cars in total weigh about 5 tons for the 2 of them, so that just adds just a little bit of fuel we have to bring to Tylo, so it's not like a crazy amount of payload we're bringing, but it's enough that it's definitely warrants a slightly bigger lander. Tylo, if you don't know, is a very, very big place, and it has no atmosphere, so you can't use aerodynamic braking to slow down, so you have to burn your engines to slow all the way down on Tylo, which definitely complicates things, but hey, it works out at the end. One big advantage is you can use the vacuum optimized engines, which give you a little bit of extra efficiency. So we're gonna be using 4 of those radially mounted tanks, which are gonna be onion staged away. And then skipper main core, because it has a nice high thrust to weight ratio to help us land. So that's basically the lander complete. Now we're gonna start working on our nuclear transfer stage, which is way overbuilt. We're gonna be asparagus staging this thing away. So the way it worked is we have 2 fuel tanks, or all the fuel tanks are gonna be we're only going to be draining fuel basically out of 2 fuel tanks at a time, and that fuel is going to go into powering all 9 of our nuclear engines and keeping the other tanks topped off. So when those 2 tanks are depleted, we can stage them away, and then the other tanks will still be full of fuel, and then we'll deplete. You know, then once those are depleted, we burn. I think yeah, it's asparagus. It's efficient, right? And I just decided, just because it's a big lander. The lander itself weighs around 90 tons, so yeah, it's not small. And we're going to Tylo, and the Easter egg is on a very inclined orbit, actually, so or an inclined position on Tylo. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get into an inclined orbit, like I said, on Tylo, which makes coming back to Kerbin quite a bit more difficult. So I just decided to pack a bunch of extra fuel, because why the crap not? So yeah, now we're building our rocket. So this is our second stage. It's going to be powered by 1 Rhino and 2 Vectors, just to help us get a little bit extra thrust to weight ratio. And then we can get ready to work on our bottom stage. While we're doing this, I would like to quickly do some plugs. So thank you guys very much for anyone who has subscribed or liked the video or commented or just enjoys the content. And we just celebrated 1,000 Discord members today as of recording the video. So thank you everyone who has subscribed, or joined the Discord. And I guess thank you everyone who has subscribed. We're trying to pass up Strats and Blitz's Discord, and we're only 300 members away, so let's see if we can do. We also do some fun events and stuff on the Discord too, so that's my little pitch, and subscribe. Oh my gosh, guys. And yeah, so that's the black screen, and now we're here to the launch. Hopefully those plugs weren't too bad. Here with our really weirdly shaped fairing. I don't know what that's like. That is a weird shape. I really don't even know how to describe it, but either way, we can get some nice cinematic shots of the rocket that is totally not centered on the launch pad, but being centered is overrated. So we can go ahead and get ourselves with an SAS and get the engine on, and we can throttle this little goal. It's a big guy up. Kind of slow off the pad, but we can get the time lapse going here, and that'll speed her up just a touch here. We do have 16 vectors firing on that bottom stage, so we have quite a bit of thrust, but yeah, our thrust rate ratio is about 1.07 at liftoff, so not great, but we can start a very steep gravity assist, because hey, or gravity turn, I always say gravity assist, but yeah, we're doing this because of reasons. Actually, the main reason is we're trying to get as high as possible, as quick as possible, so we can deploy that fairing, because the fairing easily adds about 50 tons of weight. It's crazy how much the fairing weighs, so I'm trying to get nice and high, nice and quick, so I can stage the fairing away. And there goes the bottom stage. Now we can continue to pitch over as we get through about 40 kilometers here. Yeah, like I said, very steep ascent. We can also get as high as possible too as well, so we can get as much specific impulse out of the engines as well. And there we go. We are now opened up the fairing, and now we are just going to try and fly flat basically, because we are almost basically in space now. We just have to get up to orbit. We still have about 1,000, just over 1,000 meter seconds to go. We're going to get into about 150 by 150 kilometer orbit. That's a little bit excessive for this mission, but hey, you know what? We have extra fuel, right? So we can do it. That's the luxury of having extra fuel. You can kind of do stupid and efficient things because, hey, more boosters, right? More boosters. So yeah, we are now through 80 kilometers now, just the final few hundred meters a second. We're gonna continue to burn on the stage until it burns out, and there it goes. Then we can stage away our second stage, and then we're gonna use our nuclear engines to circularize ourselves around Kerbin, and then we can go ahead and get ready to do our maneuver nodes after a quick orbit raising maneuver to head out to the Julian system and Tylo. Now, because of the low thrust to weight ratio of our nuclear stage, we unfortunately have to split up our burn into 2 burns, because the burn just been too long to do it in 1 burn. So hey, 2 burns is fun, isn't it? So yeah, 2 burns is what we're going to be doing at Periaps, you know, to maximize our use of the Oberth effect, as Matt Lown likes to say. And then once we do that, we can be on our merry way to Tylo, which is really cool. And another advantage is usually when you're coming in a Joule, if you don't have a lot of fuel margin, you have to do gravity assists with around Tylo or Leif to get yourself captured and around Joule. No need for that. We could just, there goes the first set of fuel tanks and engines going away, so that's pretty cool. We have no need for that. We can just go straight. What we do is we get a nice low periaps around Joule, and then I get myself to an orbit where my apoapse is set to about Tylo's orbit. Then I press the plus orbit button on the maneuver node until we get an encounter with Tylo, and then we go from there. You'll see when we get a little bit closer to Joule here as we do our final burn to get ourselves up to Julian height. Yay, Julian height, we like Joule. And there goes the next set of fuel tanks staged away. We have now literally about half the fuel we started with on this nuclear stage, or probably less than half the fuel now. But hey, we get a lot of Delta V out of it because of how mass works. So here we go. We're not going to crossfade past all of the correction burns that I did. I only did 1 really, just for the interest of time. And we can show us arriving in Joule here to come very, very low, just over 200 kilometers above the surface of Eve. I guess I don't really have a surface, but the atmosphere starts at 200 kilometers, so yeah, 200, about 50. It's pretty close to the bare minimum of what we can go. So now doing a quick plane change maneuver. So we can, there go, more fuel tanks are now staged away. Now it kind of looks like a Falcon Heavy, doesn't it? So, yeah, there goes, just hitting the plus orbit button. There is our encounter with Tylo, and then I can go ahead and get ourselves onto a nice inclined orbit around Tylo, just so we can get captured, and then we can go target the thingy-mabobber. We're getting close here, guys. We're getting close. Almost time to do it. This Easter egg is really cool, so I'm sure most of you probably know what I'm talking about, but where we're going. You could also just like check the thumbnail, but yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this place. And if you don't know where we're going, we'll keep the suspense up a little bit, won't I? So here we are, doing our first of 2 capture burns. Again, splitting this up into 2 burns just because our thrust rate ratio is not great. So there it is, just finishing up the 1 burn, and then we can go ahead and we're gonna actually do another plane change maneuver because I realized we weren't on an inclined enough orbit. So we are gonna have to do that to get ourselves set up to. I mean, this orbit is actually is barely inclined enough. That's the word I'm looking for to actually be the right height. So here we are coming in for our burn. I may have accidentally I'm showing some footage I wouldn't want to show. Either way, I don't know. I have great production value, don't I, guys? Why do I keep doing that? My mouth is kind of dry. I've literally not had anything to eat today. And it's noon when I'm filming this, so I should probably go get something to eat as soon as I'm done filming this while it renders. You know, or maybe not. Maybe I should just, I don't know. I really don't know where I was going with this line of speaking. That doesn't even make sense either. See, I'm making so much sense when I'm hungry, right, guys? So yeah, just finishing up our burn, and then we can go ahead and we'll get our crew transferred to the lander, and you can see we're getting ourselves ready to target the Easter egg. There we go. We have the crew transferred. We have the lander detached, and then we can kind of go ahead and deorbit ourselves. We're going to be targeting that big black crater, as you can see right there. as our destination. Fortunately, we do undershoot a little bit, but we don't have a whole lot of fuel margin, so I just kind of have to go with it. But we have race cars, so we can drive on over there. So you see, we're coming a little bit low, a little bit far, and then there we go, staging away those bottom tanks. Now it's just a skipper engine, bringing us down for a nice little landing. And we come down here. We get ready to deploy the landing legs. Tylo has a very high gravity, so you can't just like cut the engine and let it kind of coast down, because it has almost as much gravity as Kerbin does, so it'll literally just fall out of the sky, this thing. Does Tylo have sky, or is this just all space? I don't know. Very philosophical questions, right? Where is space on planets or moons without atmospheres? Big brain question. And here we go. Yay, we made it. Welcome to Tylo, everybody. And now we can not very gracefully stage away the race cars after we transfer some crew into them, and then we'll press the space bar and they'll kind of fall off of the thing. And then we do have two of them, and so I'll control one of them just in the interest of time, and we'll do like a kind of bit of a travel montage. Not really a montage, but just a few quick crossfades as we drive over to the beloved big ol' Easter egg we're going to, which is big and probably very old. I don't know how old Tylo is, but it should just be coming into sight right about now. And there it is. It's a cave, a big cave. It's like a mountain cave, but yeah, there's a big cave in Tylo, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, here we are. We're just arriving at the cave, and then before we do our race, I'm gonna do a little bit of a drive through the cave, just kind of see what's up, kind of explore the area. I don't know, see if there are any Tyloians hanging out in the cave. Spoiler alert, there are no aliens in KSP, although there's a pretty good argument to be made that Kerbals themselves are aliens, so you never know. Some people think they're plants, which I don't get. I like to call them radioactive space frogs. I think Matt Lown first came up with that. That's what I think they are. They are radioactive space frogs. But either way, now I'm gonna cross right over to me now in the multiplayer server, and you can see the other car has arrived, and my friend, who is gonna be driving that one. We're gonna be racing up the side of the Tylo cave to see who can actually get to the top first and take a fat W, right? So here we are. Welcome to the cave, everybody, or welcome to the starting line. Here we go. We're getting ready to get started on the race here. Just taking a nice little cool shot of the cars before we get going. We can get going here in 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. Go, here we are. I've already broken something off my car, and it looks like I am already in a bit of a disadvantage here, or I'm kind of losing. Yeah. Go, come on, let's see if we can catch up as we get over it. This part of the hill is actually fairly shallow. The angle, it gets a little bit steeper here. The angle right about here, and you have to be kind of careful not to kind of spin your car out and start falling back down the cave, because that's not a good idea. It looks like I'm still in quite a bit of a losing position. Let's see if I can do some speed gaining maneuvers to see if we can overtake the competition here. As he has just crossed over that next little slope change, I guess. It's kind of sharp, but here we go. Oh, and looks like we've caught a little bit of air there. Oh, that's not good. We're kind of going in the wrong direction. Here we go. And looks like we're still quite a ways behind. You've just crossed the halfway point up the mountain. Looks like he's trying to take a little bit of a more gentle way up the thing, because that's pretty steep. And it looks like we have the competition has flipped out, but I have also flipped out. We have both conveniently flipped out at the same time, but hey, I am still in the lead, and he is falling quite a ways back down the mountain as I can regain my speed here, and I can start heading back up. And it looks like I am now back in the lead as we have, like I said, crossed the halfway point. Just gotta get up this nice steep hill, and then it's pretty much shallow for the rest of the way up, so it is looking pretty good for me. It looks like he's also starting to speed up and catch up as this race is getting into its final few seconds here. Who's gonna win? Oh my gosh, the end is in sight. The end is in sight. Oh, he's still way back there. This is looking good, guys. I don't know about you. Oh no, we're tipping. Oh no, oh, that's not good. Well, and now we're falling. Oh no, it looks like we have, wow, completely and utterly fallen all the way down the mountain, and yeah, we lost. I lost, I guess. I don't know. That was, maybe we won. Maybe you were all rooting for him. I try and get back into it, but yeah, no, this is over. This is sad. This is very, very sad, and he's already made it to the top. That's not good. Sorry if I disappointed any of my fans. I try to maybe try and catch back up again, but yeah, then I blow up, and he's already way beyond one, and now he's trying to drive off the mountain and do like a cool stunt maneuver. Point is, both of our cars are broken, so Kerbals kind of have to walk back to the lander. So I'll crossfade to us getting ready to take back off and rendezvous with the mothership. Both of these are appearing as a plane, which is kind of weird, probably because of the plane cockpits used for the cars. But here we go. We can retract the ladder, and we can stage away and head back up to low Tylo orbit and rendezvous. This is the Ascent stage, which has those two radially mounted fuel tanks, which are onion staged away. We'll see in a second. So they're keeping that center core kind of filled up, and then once those are depleted, we will stage the two fuel tanks away, and then it is pretty much smooth sailing back into we have quite a bit of extra delta V, so nothing really to worry about here on the getting into orbit front. We have plenty of extra delta V. Like we had about 5,600 delta V in the nuclear stage. Once we with everything, we had about 800 left, I believe, when we got into low Tylo orbit, and then once we got rid of the lander, which is like literally like almost 100 tons, our weight went down to our delta V went up to around 6,500 meters a second of delta V. So getting back home is not going to be a problem whatsoever as we get ready to rendezvous with the mothership here, and we can head back. And we can reVA with the other Kerbal and see what's going on and see how the other Kerbal's been doing. It wasn't good enough to get on the race, which is, you know, kind of lame, but oh well. Here we go, just using the RCS thrusters to kind of give us a little bit of a push towards the mothership. And awkward pause, because I did that and thing too early. More awkward pause. Land now, dock, that's the word, we docked, we did it. Alright now guys, it is time, last few minutes of the video, to head back to Kerbin. So we are going to transfer the crew in because I don't want to leave space debris. I'm going to deorbit the lander, deorbit the lander, and obviously in my quest not to have space debris, I totally thought about all the fuel tanks and engines and stuff. I discarded all those nuclear stuff that is just floating around aimlessly in space. Obviously I thought of that. Now we go staging away the last two fuel tanks, which are totally not going to aimlessly float around in space, and we can plan our maneuver node back to Kerbin. I'm going to just skip past most of this part because I assume most of you guys came to the video for to enjoy the actual landing and the race and stuff, and just checking out the Easter egg. And not really the return trip, because the return trip is lame. It's like, you know, when you go on vacation and you drive out there and it's all exciting, or on a road trip, you're like, oh, we can't wait to get there, it's gonna be so cool. And then it's like a 10-hour drive and you have to like drive all the way back, and you're like, well, that was fun, and it kind of sucks now. Or like when you're on vacation, like, you know, I'm gonna go to Australia, you know, it's a 14-hour flight. I live in America, right? It's probably like an 18-hour flight actually, because the two flights, you have to first fly to LA from where I live, and you know, oh my gosh, it's like an entire day of traveling. We made it to Australia, now we have to come back, and now I have to sit in a chair for, you know, all that time, and, you know, look outside, and there's just nothing out there. It's probably cloudy, and not a great feeling, is it? You usually get through the first leg of the flight with the enthusiasm, or it probably does make the flight seem long because you have a lot of adrenaline and stuff, but either way, we've made it back to Kerbin. Totally on-topic conversation we've been having, or I've been having with myself. And now we're going to re-enter. We had so much fuel we really just did force an encounter with Kerbin, and because of that we were actually coming in fairly slow relative to normal, so we don't actually pull that many Gs, which is new for the channel. We don't get pegged at 15 Gs for like 2 minutes. That's new, but either way, we have now gotten through through peak heating and peak Gs, and now we can come down on the night side, which is kind of lame, but what can you do? So we're going to deploy the parachute here in a few seconds, and then we're going to just glide on down, or fall on down, or whatever the terminology is with the parachute, back to Kerbin, and you know, we'll I don't know, probably words. I know what I'm talking about. UI off. Splashdown. We did it. Yay. Thank you for watching, everyone. That's going to bring us to the video. So like I said, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Please rate or comment to this video once again. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.